the video. But Invisalign is not for the weak. Hear me out, guys. It is not for the weak. I had spaces everywhere. I mean, my teeth were throwing in signs all over the place, right? So I ended up, going to the doctor to go back in because it hurt so bad. I was like pinching myself to give myself other pain in other areas so I can take the focus off of the drilling that he was doing. So by the time he told me he was done and I knew those were still there, so I was like, it's okay. I know I felt it, but I'm like, it's okay now. It's good. It's good. Don't go back in. Don't go back in. So that's why I don't understand, like, Alright, so I am actually back. I am getting my Invisalign. I'm at the doctor's office. So I started my Invisalign a while back. Hope you guys can hear me. Then I basically stopped wearing them because I was out of town, out of state. So now I have to come back and pay a whole new fee. This shit is expensive. And it's basically like I'm starting over again. I might as well just get braces because at this point I'm just like, so much. If I had knew how much work this shit was going to be, I would have just got braces and call it a day. But Invisalign, I wouldn't recommend it. It's nice for the aesthetic, but honestly, it's a lot of work. You have to be consistent. You have to, be an adult about it. I wouldn't recommend children getting Invisalign because it's just too much. Just get braces and call it a day. This is like the 5th year that I've been working on getting these things done, and my teeth were already like closed. But then once you stop wearing Invisalign, trust me, everything goes back. It shifts back to what it was before. And yeah, anyway, so we're sitting here waiting. They're getting everything started. Hopefully we'll get some good news because I'm so tired of this whole thing. Anyways, yeah, I'll be back. Now what's gonna happen is I'm going to get the little silver things added to my teeth so it can be attached to the rubber band. So under that, I have this silver thing here, and I lost one on this side, so I have to get new ones added, and then some impressions, some of the stuff that's going to hold my Invisalign in place. So I'm gonna get some of that added now, and then we should be good to go. I'm so excited to go back to this again. I want to close all the spaces. I think I had already told him that from last time, because at first I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep a little bit of gap, but now I pay so much money, I'm just like, just close everything up.
Yeah, I told her to mention it, but I guess she didn't, so.
Yeah, it should be in the notes because I spoke to him about that last time I came. Hi,
How are you?
Dr.
Good to
Brian.
see you again. Welcome back.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very
Good.
much. All right, so we got a couple attachments on you there.
Yes.
All right. Me too. Okay, thank you. All right. So we'll just turn that off for a second there. Yeah.
Invisalign. Apparently I don't be when I won't have to wear any more elastics, which is great.
We can go ahead and schedule an appointment for you to come in. Do you mind if I put your hold for a moment? Thank you. Alright, Jenny, you need to schedule your next appointment.
We're talking about Invisalign today. So I actually had Invisalign for about 5 years now, and it usually does not take 5 years. But hear me out, okay? The reason why I had them for 5 years, I hate when they're on because I cannot talk. I talk with the list. I don't know if you guys can hear it now versus when I first started the video. But Invisalign is not for the weak. Hear me out, guys. It is not for the weak. I have a gap. And when I first started, I'm not even ashamed of it because when I first started, I had a gap about as huge as big as a door. I mean, it was big. And at one point, I didn't even think my gap was that big. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep my gap because that's what makes me me. And people always complain my gap, which I love my gap. I just want to make sure my thing is still on. I love my gap, right? But I also wanted my teeth to look nice, to, be closed so I don't have all the space. And if I only had my gap and I had all the other space between my other teeth, I would have been just fine. But I had spaces everywhere. I mean, my teeth were throwing game signs all over the place, right? So I ended up, okay, going to this orthodontist to get my Invisalign. So because I have really good insurance with my job, I ended up getting a really, really good deal. Because I was always told that braces are expensive, like almost $5,000. Invisalign, I wanted Invisalign because it just the aesthetically it looks nicer, so you don't have to have the wires and everything. But honestly, at the end of it all, I wish I had got braces instead of Invisalign. Yes, the aesthetic is nice with Invisalign. Braces doesn't look so nice, and you get food stuck in your teeth and stuff. I mean, it depends because if you don't have time to brush your teeth, you're in the middle of nowhere, on a vacation, you're out. You will have toothbrush to brush your teeth every single time. But Invisalign, you still need the same thing. You still need to brush your teeth every time you eat and all that stuff. So let's get into why I wish I had got braces versus Invisalign. So Invisalign, it takes a long time. Well, it doesn't take a longer time than braces, but for me, it took a very long time. And the thing about it too, one pro about it is that you will lose weight. You will lose weight while you have Invisalign. I know that for a fact because when I was wearing it consistently, I lost so much weight because for one, you have to change your Invisalign trays every week. So these are all of the new ones that I got for this new set. You have to change every 2 weeks. I mean every week. This one I'm not going to change until 2 weeks later because something happened, and I'll get into that later into the video. But you have to change it every week, and when you change it and put a new tray, it's like your entire mouth is you've been punched in the face, right? It's like you've been punched in the face. You cannot eat, you cannot drink. I mean, you could probably drink, but your teeth can be sensitive. It's very sore, so you will not want to eat because you're afraid that it's going to hurt. It's already hurting without you eating, so when you eat, you're afraid it's going to hurt so bad, so you don't eat. And then on top of that, you can only have your Invisalign off for about 2 hours for the day. Listen to what I'm saying, for about 2 hours for the day. So combining with every time you take it out to eat and drink, and you can only have it on to drink water and nothing else. So if you're drinking wine, you got to take it out because it's going to stain the Invisalign. And you're going to have to, change it sooner than you should, but you should not change it sooner. You have to wait until the whole week. So for example, I got this set today. They told me that if on a perfect world I would have to change it every week, then I would change it next Monday. So I would start my new one next Monday. But because I have to keep this one for 2 weeks, I won't change it until the Monday after. So then it's gonna be I'm gonna be using this for 2 whole weeks. So and I will tell you how I take care of it, in the process of me having it for 2 weeks or a week. So basically, you cannot eat that much. And if you're trying to drink something that's going to stain it, for example, I have a drink now and I cannot drink it until I take this thing off. And it's only like orange juice, right? I would have to use a straw and put the straw all the way in the back of my mouth and then drink in the straw so I don't touch the Invisalign. Not that it's gonna hurt, but only because it's going to stain, and I don't want to walk around with like stained teeth, even though my teeth is not stained. But if this thing is yellow, it's gonna look like my teeth are stained. So you don't want to do that. And another thing too is that you won't be able to eat at least the first 2 days when you change your trays. They call trays. When you change your trays, you won't be able to eat comfortably. You can eat, but it won't be comfortably because your teeth are going to be so sore. It's going to hurt so much that you will not be able to eat. So then it's going to help you to lose more weight. But most people who get Invisalign, it's not because they want to lose weight. It's because they want to, fix their teeth, obviously, right? But it's probably going to cause you to lose more weight because you're going to avoid eating because you have to take it out, then eat, and then brush your teeth, and then put it back on. It's just a whole tedious process. So a lot of people will skip that. So when I had it, I lost so much weight. I mean, I got to the point where my face was looking like a crackhead because I was I lost so much weight. On top of other stuff that I was doing, I did lost a lot of weight just from like having my Invisalign. So I'm excited for that part. Not saying that people should get it to lose weight because it's an expensive way to lose weight. But I'm excited because I've gained a few pounds and I want to be able to lose them. So now it's giving me an excuse to lose the weight. But what happened is the first time I got it, I was going really well. My teeth were shifting, and then I went to Dominican Republic for a vacation, and one of my Invisalign got lost. And by the time I came back, I went for a wedding. By the time I came back, my teeth had shifted, and it was like 4 days. My teeth had shifted so much that I could not put on the new one that I had to put on for the next week. It hurt. So I was able to put it in. But let me tell you, it was like all of my teeth were coming together all at once, and it hurt like the dickens. I can't even explain to you the pain, the level of pain that I went to just because I missed 4 days. So remember that. If you're going to take it off, you literally have like 2 hours within the day to brush your teeth, to eat, to drink, unless it's water. So you have 2 hours to do all of this in 24 hours. That's the only amount of time that you can have this Invisalign out. Okay. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying because I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I'm trying to cover everything as much as I can because I've had these babies on for 5 years. And on top of that, I had to pay extra because I kept missing days, and I wish someone else would make a video of this so I could have known to prepare myself that I'm going to spend a lot of money because at the end of the day, I should have just got braces because it would have been so much easier. My teeth would have been completely closed. And even if I kept those braces on and never go to the doctor and then go to a different doctor to take the braces off, I would have perfect teeth. But because I, wasn't following up like I'm supposed to, these things moved back as if I never had Invisalign or braces before. It was like, it made me so upset. But anyways, so yeah, you'll lose weight and you have to wear it for almost 23 hours out of the day, well 22 hours, because you need like you'll have like 2 hours out of the day to be able to eat and drink and all that stuff. And on top of that, every time you go, if you're missing impressions, so what happened is they put little dots where the Invisalign will like grip into your teeth and then they stay on your teeth. And also they heard the silver thing right here on both sides because you're supposed to wear rubber bands. So rubber bands will get hooked right here. They have a little flap right here. And then from here to the bottom, you hook your rubber bands so you can wear it. But at this point, they tell me not to wear any rubber bands. But before, I would have rubber bands and I would wear them. But because of how my teeth have been shifting and they wanted to shift a different way, so they tell me not to wear rubber bands. So follow the directions of the doctor based on what they tell you. That's what you will do. So yeah, so they put the little impressions. They have they call these buttons. They call them buttons, but then the other ones are like they're like the color of your teeth. So when you don't have them on, you can't see it unless you're like really up close to my face. But they grip onto the Invisalign, which then hold the Invisalign in place. So whenever you talk, it doesn't just fall out, because sometimes it could be too big, but over time it's going to be like tight enough where even if you didn't have the impressions, it would hold on. But it's there for a reason. They have that, so when you put it in, you can hear that like a clack sound, so that means it's like in place properly, and those are the ways to indicate that it's in place, and also to kind of help the teeth move the right way. So that you need to have those. But when you go get those, which I will insert in the video of how I was getting them done, if you are someone who has sensitive teeth, that's gonna hurt. It's going to hurt when they're putting them on, and then when they're shaving, not putting them on. When they're putting them on, it doesn't hurt except for like the UV. And if you have sensitive teeth, the UV is going to go through your teeth, past the enamel, and it's going to hurt a little bit because, like, light. I don't know. It's like it. At least to me, it hurt. It was kind of sensitive, but then they have to go over it and literally shave all that. It's almost like when you put glue on something, you try to take the glue out, so you have to use like a drill to glue it out. I mean, if it's like really tough glue, so they use a drill to drill it out, and they will go with this tiny little fine drill, which you will see in the video, and that stuff hurts. It hurts like the dickens. It's like sensitive, and it hurts. It get hot, and that's when they keep squirting the water because the tool get really, really hot, and then it starts hurting. I thought they were gonna go through my teeth. That's how bad it hurt. But the only time they do that is when you're first getting it done, or if in the process you actually lose one of those, then they have to apply it, and then that's when they will use that tool. So usually I like to put my headphones in because I hate hearing the sound of that thing because it just grinds my teeth. It's like a sound of grinding your teeth, and it's just, ugh, I hate it. Absolutely hate it. But that's what they'll be doing only twice, if the in the beginning, before you get your invisalign, in the process of getting it done, and also if you lose some of the impressions or buttons, they go through that whole process. So I hope I'm covering everything. You're gonna be wearing it for 22 hours out of the day. Only 2 hours you have to have it off to eat, drink, and all that good stuff. And then it costs about $25,000 depending on where you are and if you have insurance. For me, I feel like it was a good deal because I had insurance. I thought it was going to be 5,000, but when it came to 25,000, I was like, oh my god. But then after I had to get new things done, it cost me way more. I could have just got braces or just paid the full price, because at the end of the day, I still had to pay that much money because I kept losing stuff. One time when I went to the wedding in Dominican Republic, that happened, and I had to start over. So they had to do a whole new impressions and start me over and get me new trays and all that stuff because the other ones just didn't fit anymore. And then the second time was recently, where I stopped going for almost a year because I don't know why I stopped going, but I did lose a lot of my Invisalign, and I told them that I lost it. But they told me, okay, well, if you have the old trays, you could try. So I could try putting them back in and see which one fit and just start from there. But I had already thrown them out because a lot of time after like 1 week of using it, they have like their stain, and it's just nasty. So then I throw it out because I'm like, I'm never going to use them again, because I'm not thinking that something like that would happen. So I throw it out. When I throw it out, I had to get new impressions again, and I had to reorder a bunch of new sets, and I had to pay for that. So that was like almost $900 just to pay for it and get impressions. So then they ended up giving me a retainer that I had to wear for like 4 weeks. Imagine, and the retainer is basically like this. It's like the same Invisalign, but they give it to you the same day. So then in the meantime, they're ordering you new Invisalign so then you can come back. But because I had to come back and I had to pay like another fee, so I paid like 500 and I owe like 400 something, and I didn't have the money, and you have to pay that out of pocket. It's not like insurance covering it. That doesn't cover it. I didn't have the money, so I ended up going a little bit further than the date that they gave me. And by then, my retainer had already snapped in half because I had it for so long. So I wasn't wearing it for like another month and a half. And that's where in the video I said, I'm so glad that the ones that they had ordered, which are these, because when I called them on the phone, I said, hey, I haven't had them for like a month, what can you guys do? They say, well, if we're going to have to order you new ones, if these that we just ordered for you that you hadn't come in to get, that you're planning on coming to get now, if they don't fit, we're gonna have to take impressions again and charge you another $900 and then reorder and give you new retainers. The retainer is $200 just for them to make you a retainer, which they take a mold of your teeth and then they make the retainer. It takes them like 1 hour, right? Not even. It's $200, and then they have to order more things, and you have to pay that right away before they even get you started. So this kind of like they're holding the process up because you cannot pay, right? So if you cannot pay right away, the full $900, then you pay half. There's some doctors, depending on the doctor, because my doctor, he was nice enough, because some doctors you actually have to pay it right away. But if you don't have it, you could pay like half. And if you don't have the other half by the time that your appointment is due for you to get your new set, then your retainer might be already broken because they're so delicate. So I'm gonna just take out one out of like a new one so I can show you. So basically it shows, it comes like in a thing like this. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're trying to get new retainers, new Invisalign, right? It costs $400 each. So the top is 400, the bottom is 400. If you lost it and you have to start over, it's 400 each to get a whole set, right? That's how much it is. So anyway, so instead of me taking it out of my mouth so I can show you, I'm going to show you what it actually looked like. So it comes like this, and mind you, I will not be using this until like 2 weeks from now because I just got this new one today. So it comes like this in a little packet, and the little rubber bands actually come in a packet like this also. I don't want to turn it around to show you guys any personal information, but this is what it looks like, and you can see my name is on it right there. So it comes like this. So it has the little, you see how it has the little lump right here? So it like elevates because they're going to put the impressions. So this is where your impressions will get hooked on, right? These little lumps right here will get hooked to your impressions, and that's how it goes. So this is the shape of my teeth right now with the gap and everything. And then the little impressions are right here. And then over here, you have the little, let's see. You have the little hook right here. So the rubber band will get hooked right here and then goes down to the bottom of the buttons. And yeah, so that, and then this is the bottom. So my bottom teeth is pretty closed up right now. So at the bottom, this is where the button will get hooked right here at the bottom right here, and then it'll get hooked there. So basically like this, right? On this side, you see it? Okay, so then the rubber band will go from the top here and then to the button right here, and then it's gonna just, you know how the rubber bands stick. I don't know if you ever seen someone with braces and they had the rubber band are here almost. So when they speak, it's almost like they're spitting, you know. So I don't know when I will be able to get my rubber bands applied, because I do like to wear the rubber bands, because a lot of time people will look at me and they're like, oh, what's in your mouth? You know, why do you have that line? Because all they can see is like the line at the very top here, and they cannot see because your Invisalign basically blends in. The only time you can see it is if you're talking and you have spit in your mouth, right? So then the spit will go under the thing inside the plastic, and it'll just build up there. And I hate that, so I have to constantly keep going like that. So just be aware of that, and also just make sure you carry a mirror with you, because if you wear lipstick like myself, my lipsticks, this is my lipstick line, by the way. It doesn't transfer, so I like that. But if you're wearing a lipstick that transfer, it's going to get stuck in your Invisalign, so you're gonna have like red or like burgundy or whatever color, or orange, whatever color you have here. So you have to always be careful. And another thing too, your teeth are going to be white because you have to brush your teeth often. So you're gonna be brushing your teeth like crazy. So if you got bad breath on it, don't worry about that, because that bad breath is gonna go away, unless it's like something within. Where it's like, it's something health related. But if it's just because you don't brush your teeth, you're gonna brush your teeth, because every time you eat, you're gonna have stuff in your mouth. You're gonna have to be carrying a floss with you, stuff to flush your teeth and get between the teeth, because it's going to get so annoying that you want to brush your teeth. So just know that you're gonna be carrying a toothbrush everywhere you go, and you're gonna be brushing your teeth every time you eat. You're going to be brushing your teeth, so it's going to discourage you from eating as much as you would on a regular basis. So that's the reason why I have the list again. That's the reason why you will definitely lose weight, because you're going to be discouraged from eating on a regular basis, because you got to take it out. So taking it out, I'm going to take it out so I can show you guys. So gotta get all this juice. I gotta go. I usually go at the back, and I use my fingernails to go underneath. So you gotta be very careful, because if it's like one of the first days or the first 2 days, it's going to be so sore that you're going to not even want to take it out to even brush your teeth. You know what I mean? Because it's just you won't even want to eat because it hurts so bad taking it out. But this one doesn't hurt that bad. I forgot to tell you guys the trays that they had ordered for me, so I didn't have to order new ones because they fit perfectly. I thought my teeth had shift like all the way to Kalaho land, but it did not. So I'm glad that it actually fit and I didn't have to pay extra, because on top of the $400 I had ordered from the retainers and for them all ordering this, I would have to pay another $900 to start all over for them to do retainers and then order a whole new set. I was like, who is paying for this? Nobody got time. And they would not even take your insurance, even though you have insurance. I have really good insurance, but they're not taking it because they had already taken it from the beginning. And this is like a whole new process with Invisalign. So they're telling you, oh, it's not the doctor. It's the Invisalign. It's not the orthodontist. It's the Invisalign people that are charging you that much. But I'm like, yeah, but you still got to get paid for your service, for the work that you had to do. So yeah, it's not just Invisalign. And how could like 9 trays be $900? I mean, almost like $100 per tray. That's crazy. Oh, excuse me. That's all I spent. Anyway, so I'm gonna take it out so I can show you guys how I take it out and then put it back on. Okay. So I go in the back. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Ah. Ah. Okay. I know I said it doesn't hurt. It actually doesn't hurt. But it's just a process because everything gets hooked and the impressions. I don't know if you guys can see it. But in the video, I'll show you how they were putting the impressions so you can actually see the process. Uh-huh. Ah. So it's best if you go from the inside instead of the outside, because you don't want to risk taking that button out, because then that's what hurts when they have to put it back in and then drill all the little extra glue and mold thing out of the way. Because even then, like, they drill a lot of it, but I still, when I bite down, I still feel like, when they put like cement on the floor and it has that little, like they have a little extra cement that's like not supposed to be there and they're supposed to drill it down. But that's what it feels like. And I have a couple still there. But I was so afraid to tell the doctor to go back in because it hurt so bad. I was like pinching myself to give myself other pain in other areas so I can take the focus off of the drilling that he was doing. So by the time he told me he was done and I knew those were still there, I was like, it's okay. I know I felt it, but I'm like, it's okay now. It's good. It's good. Don't go back in. Don't go back in. So that's why I don't understand, like, when people go to like veneer techs and dental techs on TikTok and they're opening their mouth to let these people play in their mouth. I'm like, I have a professional doctor who went to school and did all these years of schooling and he's doing this and I'm afraid and I'm like literally crying inside. And you let someone who has 2 days of training play in your mouth? What? Dude, no. Anyway, so this is what it looks like. It probably has a bunch of spit, but this is what it looks like. And I show you guys already how the tray is. So basically, I'm going to put it back in so I can show you guys how you put it back in, right? So it's normal. You're just gonna, huh? Ah, yeah. Make sure you squeeze it so you can hear that clicking sound, because it has to make that clicking sound. And, okay. Whew, there. So now it's a little sore again because I just took it out and gave myself a break. And yeah. So it's a whole process, guys. Trust me. If you're going to do it, just make sure you actually take your time, because you will waste money by having to go back, and getting the whole process starting over because you missed like 1 or 2 days of not wearing your Invisalign. Trust me, when they tell you you can only have it out for like 2 hours out of the day, listen to the doctors because they know what they're talking about. I had to learn the hard way twice. I had to learn the hard way twice, and I almost had to pay double the price of the damn Invisalign just to continue it. And I was like, damn it. I'm kidding, y'all. I'm kidding. But it definitely hurt my pockets. Let's just say that it hurt my pockets, and that's just not nice. It is not nice because I have to pay all of this out of pocket just to keep up aesthetics. I mean, I was okay with my Gap and all, But then after I started watching, because I've been making videos on YouTube forever now, so I have a different channel. And when I went back and watching my channels, I was like, yo, so nobody told me how bad my teeth was? What? My teeth had a whole gate, like a whole gate. My teeth were throwing gang signs. When I tell you gang signs, that shit was bad. But everybody was complimenting me, saying that my Gap looked good on me, which I knew it looked good on me. I never had any insecurities with my Gap. But then when you look at the before and the after, I was like, yo, I was talking and spitting on people this whole time. Oh my God, how embarrassing. Anyways, guys, I will see you on the next video. Go ahead and click anywhere on the screen and watch those veneer techs on TikTok ruining people's teeth, because that's not funny. That is not funny. Bye, y'all.